Hey guys, OG Albina here, bringing you guys my APA Academy Season 2 Week 12 battle against Matt O'Shea and his Montreal Milotics. Matt is a very cool dude. He's very talented and a great content creator. If you're here and you know me and don't know Matt for some reason or know of him or something like that, I would be very surprised, but if that is the case, definitely go check him out. Him and all the other coaches will be in the description below. Now, I know there is no team builder for this game, and I will get into why. As I kind of preface, this team, this battle, kind of give you guys a backstory on it. Because, as you guys noticed, no team builder or anything like that. That is because we actually clinched playoffs last week. When beating JB, we clinched our playoff spot, either the 2 or 3 seed on our team. So I wasn't worried about missing out on playoffs at all in this game. And I looked at the potential round 1 matchups and stuff like that, and Matt was a very likely playoff opponent. Not only that, his matchup versus me, well, his team in general is just disgusting. I'm going to talk about that really quick after this. His team in general is just absolutely gross, and it's particularly really gross versus mine. I'm really terrified of this team right here. He has a lot that can check and stop my offense. He has a lot of things that just runs through my defense, and a lot of stuff. So I wanted to use this week as more of a kind of like a scouting mission. I didn't really care if I got the 2 or the 3 seed. I couldn't get the bye or anything like that by any chance. So I kind of wanted to bring not necessarily a bad team, but more so a B team, like, a team that isn't necessarily going to, reveal all of my ideas for a potential rematch. I actually already have I built an A team first, and then I was like, okay, how can we tone it down a little bit? So this is going to be said B team. Hopefully we can scout and see what Matt wants, and I do think he'll bring his best team because he actually needed to beat me to secure playoffs. If we beat him, I think we had a chance of knocking him out, which you can say like, hey, oh, well then why didn't you try and knock him out if you're so scared of your matchup? Because if I didn't, then I had shown all my cards going forward, and I took an L with nothing to come out of it. So I'm kind of thinking more so long term here. In spoilers, we actually do end up playing Matt round 1 next week, so I'm really glad that I did this, because if I would have just revealed everything, that would have sucked just for a week 12 game. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go over matchup really quick. I'm not going to go in depth on my sets really at all, other than kind of what's shown in the battle. Just because I don't want to reveal anything, even if it might not be what I bring. I don't really want him to get too much insight into my thought process for the team this week. So as Google Docs apparently closed on my phone, I'm going to reopen it, as this is incredibly unprofessional. I apologize. Cool, so we should have it loading up. Awesome. So our team, if you did forget, consists of the Deoxys Attack, Naganadel, Jirachi, Mandibuzz, Lanoon, Infernape, Piloswine, Primarina, Frostlass, Tyrantrum, Mega Manectric, and Vileplume, while our opponent's team consists of... Where is it? Montreal Milotic. Alright, it consists of the Ho-Oh, Tapu Koko, Zemoos, Aegislash, Megalodios, Dugtrio, Amoonguss, Miltank, Seismitoad, Zemoos, Hawlucha, Bisharp, and Illumise. Yeah, this team's really gross. This team's really gross. He got Coco Lucha with Ho-Oh, Aegislash, Megalodios, Dougie for trapping, a really nice little Fat Core and Amoonguss, Miltank. Just really nasty team, in all honesty. And again, I really wanted to scout and see what he would want to bring, how he'd approach this matchup and stuff like that. So going through the 6 that we have, what I can reveal: we have a Stealth Rocks, Icicle Crash, and Earthquake Piloswine. Very good versus team, very decent check to a lot of his mons. We have a 4 attacks Infernape. We have a pretty bulky, yet somewhat offensive Tyrantrum, a Manectric with, I believe, Volt Switch and Toxic, plus 2 other moves that I don't think I revealed. I might not even have revealed Toxic, but oh well. Oops. Then we have a Mandibuzz with Toxic and Foul Play. Then we have an Assault Vest, Naganadel, and I can reveal all 4 moves for that one, because we have U-Turn, Fire Blast, Dragon Pulse, and Sludge Wave. But yeah, looking at the 6 that Matt elected to bring, he went with the Megalodios, the Tapu Koko, the Dugtrio, Hawlucha, Aegislash, and the Ho-Oh. Right off the bat, I do just want to kind of lead off with my Piloswine. I feel like it matches up the best versus a good majority of his team. It can honestly kind of beat a lot of them 1v1, minus Ho-Oh, but we can get up rocks and, really neuter that thing to where we can take it on a little bit better. and stuff like that. So yeah, we are going to lead off with the Piloswine right here, which is great. Matt is actually going to elect to lead off with his Megalodios, which is completely fine. This is a phenomenal matchup for me. If you look at Matt's team, he doesn't switch into this Mom very well. If we are packing rock coverage, plus ice coverage, plus, you know, or earthquake, he really just kind of sacks this one. I kind of wish we had Mamoswine at this point, but unfortunately we do not. He's going to Mega Evolve and actually elect to stay in, just to kind of gauge damage and get some chip off on me. He goes for the Dragon Pulse, revealing he is a very, pretty offensive Megalodios right here, but that's actually not a 2-hit KO. I'm going to get up my Stealth Rock right here, just try and get them up for the Ho-Oh. You know, for other mons, stuff like that. Potential Sash users like Sash Dougie is also really nice. He's going to go for another Dragon Pulse. I believe I just go for an Icicle Crash right here, and we're going to do a ginormous chunk to this Latios right here. You're going to see we do a clean, like, 85-ish%. Now, right here, expecting him to respect the Ice Shard, and me wanting to go for it right here, obviously to pick off Latios, because he's most definitely in range. I'm going to kind of throw it on the table a little bit and make a pretty ballsy play. Being this Megalodios is so good versus my team, especially the 6 that I brought. If he gets chip on Mana Buzz, it really does just kind of win if he's Calm Mind. I'm going to make the play. I'm going to go for Earthquake, expecting him to want to pivot into the Aegislash to take the Ice Shard. So he is actually going to switch out. So do we get the play right? He goes out into Sir Robert, which is most definitely the Aegislash. He's going to take Rock Chip. He's going to take an Earthquake, and that's going to help our Tyrantrum out immensely here in the late game. If we can potentially, you know, slow this thing down, chip this thing down into range of it, stuff like that, as we are going to, he's going to get a little bit of lefties back right here. Gonna go for the King Shield, and, you know, kind of just scout and see what you want to do. I kind of wish, you know, well, Earthquake was fine right here. This next play, I kind of wish I just clicked Icicle Crash. You know, he doesn't really want to stay in here. This is one of his better checks to a lot of mons on our team. He is going to switch out into his Megalodios again, kind of just assuming at this point that we don't have Ice Shard. I wish we were just straight bluffing it and we had it, but we unfortunately do not. As you're going to see, we go for the Earthquake right here, and in case he wants to scout for that again, I'm just going to click a button. He goes for the Dragon Pulse, though, and he's going to be able to knock out our Piloswine. That's completely fine, though. Piloswine put in a ton of work. It really just broke through 2 of his really, really big threats to my team, so I really can't complain about that if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to be able to go to Nagano right here, and I'm just going to go for a U-turn. It'll knock out this thing for sure. It can also buff Scarf for me. It can buff Specs, a bunch of different things. He's actually going to go into Tapu Koko, which really, really surprised me because of the fact that I could have just went for a Sludge Wave, because I definitely knocked out the Latios right there. And that would have most definitely at least 2-hit KO'd this thing, despite my investment and stuff like that. But we are going to be able to go for a U-turn, at least get a little bit of momentum on this thing, which is actually kind of tough, though, because we don't really have a check to this thing anymore now that our Piloswine went down. As I'm going to go out into my Manectric, and I believe this turn I am just going to Mega Evolve, and I am going to click the Volt Switch. I don't expect him to go hard Dougie, at least the first time. I mean, I guess he could. That would be a really, really ballsy play, but him potentially losing his Dougie would be very bad for him. I'm going to get the Intimidate off in case he's Physical Koko, but he ends up just going for the Defog, which does suck because now we cannot get up rocks, and that makes the Ho-Oh a ginormous problem. That thing is a huge, huge threat, but I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, get a giant chunk off on this Koko, in all honesty, being that it is, you know, looking to be very, very offensive. I'm going to be able to go out into our Nagandel and kind of just pressure this thing. I'm assuming at this point he kind of thinks we're Scarf. He is going to withdraw right here, go out into the Aegislash, you know, expecting our Sludge Wave, as that is what we were going to go for. But that's completely fine, because at this point, we've bluffed Scarf pretty hard, and at this point, I'm thinking he probably thinks we're Scarf too, so I'm just going to stay in. I'm going to throw off a big Fire Blast. Depending on his investment, we can potentially knock him out here. Unfortunately, we are going to just miss out, but he actually goes for the sub, expecting us to be Scarf and trying to get a free sub up. So that's freaking awesome. We're able to take out this Aegislash or bring it down very low. I kind of spoiled a little bit, because he's going to go for this you know, the Shadow Sneak right here, just to get a little bit of chip off, and provided we hit our next Fire Blast, which, spoilers, we do, we will be able to knock out this Aegislash. So there goes a very big threat. This will also allow us to outspeed a Scarf Dougie once we get up to +1 right here, which is good. So that means he can't trap us, which is obviously really nice. That kind of forced me to go into a speed boosting role this week, but not going to complain about that at all. He's going to go out into the Tapu Koko, and he is going to go for, I believe, a U-turn right here. This also screams that he's Scarf, because if he's not, then he obviously wouldn't come in on a +1 speed to Ganadel. He's going to go for a U-turn right here, bring me down to 98 HP, and pivot out and see what I want to go for, as he is going to go out into his Ho-Oh, I believe. Yeah, that is the Ho-Oh. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave. Unfortunately, it's going to just straight bounce off this thing, showing me that he's very bulky, and this also tells him that I am not very invested at all. I guess he knew that from the Aegis Slash as well. But I'm going to go for a U-turn right here. He knows I'm not Scarfed at this point. There's no reason to bluff it and just hard switch out. I'm going to U-turn in case he, for some reason, wants to double, even though he saw that we had U-turn. And I'm going to go out into Mandibuzz, because that's probably my best check to this thing at this point. He is going to go for the Earth Power, expecting our Tyrantrum to come in, which is very, very fair, but our Tyrantrum is probably looking to be our win con at this point, if we can get up a, if we can start boosting up and stuff like that. He's going to go for the Sacred Fire Mandibuzz, do just about nothing. I'm going to get a big Toxic off on this thing, which is going to be nice in wearing it down, despite the Regenerator, you know, slowly over time whittling it down, especially if he wants to try and stay in and 1v1 some things, stuff like that, especially if he doesn't have Roost, though I do expect him to have Roost, as he does end up going for it right here, getting up to a decent amount. This is actually going to allow me to get a pretty free U-turn on out into, I believe, I go into my Manectric right here, which is really cool, because this can potentially grant us a lot of momentum. His team does not switch into Manectric very well at all, being the Lottie is chipped, which means I probably should click Hidden Power Grass, which I guess I just revealed that I had. Oops, I should probably click Hidden Power Grass, simply because the Dougie switch was kind of a play he had to make. Unfortunately, I played very, very passively right here, and I'm going to go for the Volt switch. In my head, I'm thinking, this is fine. If he ends up being, he ends up going Dougie, I can just, you know, kill him the next turn. But he actually reveals to be a Choice Scarfed trio, which definitely makes sense versus my team. A lot of my faster offense is revenged by Scarf Dougie with Chip, so I definitely understand that play, that bring. But definitely good information to know going into a potential playoff match. Down goes Manectric, which is completely fine. Going to go out into my Mandibuzz, because this grants me a very, very free U-turn, as he is going to go out into the Ho-Oh and be back up at full, because Regenerator is annoying. But we're going to be able to get off a U-turn right here, which is obviously really nice. It's going to do -2 damage. We probably did like 3 HP, because it was, you know, a 4 times resisted hit burned into a defensive Ho-Oh. But we're going to be able to go out into our Tyrantrum for free right here, as our opponent does take a little bit of Toxic Chip. Now, regardless of him being Charty Berry, this was a potential roll in my favor to knock him out, depending on how invested he was in defense. I don't know if he was like max, but if he wasn't, we had a very good shot of knocking him out. Unfortunately, we are just going to miss out on the KO with our Tyrantrum, as he ends up going for the Will-O-Wisp, which is definitely a pretty fair play right there to neuter us for the rest of the game. He's going to take the little Toxic Chip, so Mandibuzz is actually going to pick up the kill on Ho-Oh, which is pretty funny in itself. Down it goes to the combination of Head Smash plus Toxic, which is again completely fine. He's going to go out into the Coco, and at this point, I'm looking at the rest of my team, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, I lose to Hawlucha. I don't have a way of beating Hawlucha. He's going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. Going to be able to actually knock out our Tyrantrum, which is unfortunate, but I didn't want this thing being used as setup fodder for the Coco. I just clicked Head Smash right there in case he wanted to U-turn out into it, just to get as much damage as humanly possible on it. Out comes the Ganondorf right here. He is going to switch out, sacking off the Mega Latios. I was hoping he would go hard into Hawlucha for some reason. Unfortunately, no, he did not. But we're able to get off a big Sludge Wave kill on the Mega Latios, taking it down, which is nice. It's not able to roost up on our Infernape or anything like that. And down it goes as we get our speed boost. Now, I know he's Scarf Dougie, so he can't go that and try and revenge me, because we will be able to knock him out with the Draco Meteor. He's going to go into the Hawlucha and get his +2 speed boost, though, and a defense boost due to, you know, Unburden and Electric Seed and all that stuff. And he's going to go for an Acrobatics. It's actually going to be enough to take me out right here. Down goes our Naganadel, and things are looking pretty tough for your Miami Ments right here. There's not much I have to stop this thing. I'm going to be able to go for a Toxic on this, as he actually goes for the High Jump Kick, misses, but you're going to see this does not matter at all. I'm going to be able to go for a Toxic, and I'm going to miss. If I would have hit the Toxic, maybe things would have gone a little bit different, but I can't complain about missing a Toxic when he literally just missed a High Jump Kick against me. I don't really have any room there, as he's going to go for a High Jump Kick right there. I'm going to go for another Toxic. I don't have a way of hitting this thing very hard otherwise, so I figure that getting the Toxic off is my best bet. Even Burned Bravebird is not to hit KOing this thing, especially due to the +1 defense moves and just Mandibuzz not being super strong. My play right here is to hope that he chokes and he clicks high jump kick again and misses, but he does make the smart play. He is going to go for an Acrobatics, be able to knock out our, what do you call it? Our Mandibuzz. It's going to take a little bit more Poison Chip, which is completely fine. He's going to be able to at least be able to finish off our Infernape right here, which will definitely not outspeed a +2 Unburdened Hawlucha. Going to go for the Acrobatics. Going to be able to knock us out, if not W1, Coco 1. Either way, it was pretty much a done deal. We are unfortunately going to drop this game to Matt in a 3-0 fashion. So GG's to him. Again, I'm not too torn up about losing this. While it does suck losing, I really do hate losing. And I hate not really bringing my A team to a match against a really good player. Like I said, we actually, spoilers, due to some other games and how our game played out, we actually do play Matt round 1. So I am glad that I was able to save some things. I was able to scout and see exactly how he wanted to build and stuff like that, because this was a must-win game for him. And it's going to give me good information going into next week. So hopefully we can win in the rematch, and hopefully I don't regret holding back in this game. And he knocks us out anyways. So that would be pretty funny though. Hopefully though, we probably shouldn't speak that into existence. We'll knock on wood really quick. But yeah, that's going to be our week 12 game. Next week playoffs should start where we will be playing Matt once again, so I am very, very excited for that. Hopefully getting our rematch, our revenge right here. He's beaten us the last 2 times he's played us, actually, here and in Little Cup Wi-Fi. He beat us like week 2 or 3, something like that. So we are looking to get our revenge. We're looking to make a really deep playoff push. I really want this championship. I think it would be absolutely awesome. We have some, really, really tough coaches to get through, which would make it even better and more sweet in the end if we were able to take home the championship. So we're going to be grinding for that. But yeah, that's gonna be it, I'm pretty sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, just so you can catch our games as they go up every week, as well as our Showdown Lives. We're shooting for like daily uploads, so if that's something you're interested in, whether it be Showdown Lives or League games, be sure to stick around so you can catch all that going into Sword and Shield, where we'll be grinding as well. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I'm gonna get on out of here. Later.